Hello to all adventurous movie fans. This is Filmoro Channel. The story begins with the sudden death of the father. Two teenagers, Andy and his blind sister Piper, are left without a guardian. The authorities plan to separate them and only place Piper into care. But Andy, who has always protected his sister, firmly says, "I'll turn 18 in just 3 months. Just let me stay with my sister until then. I'll take custody myself after that." They are sent to live with a lonely woman named Laura, a woman who once lost her own blind daughter, Katie. Everything seems calm when they move into Laura's house. Maybe a little too calm. Laura appears kind. She's worked in a counseling center for years and now constantly tries to get Andy to talk, as if she's searching for something. There's also a mysterious boy named Oliver in the house, with a shaved head and an extremely frail body. Laura explains that she adopted him too. Since her daughter Katie drowned in the pool, Oliver has gone into selective mutism. He doesn't speak at all. Laura says it's best not to pressure him. But there's something in Laura's eyes, a deep, unresolved grief. Because when she looks at Piper, it's as if she's seeing Katie all over again. At night, Laura quietly enters Andy's room. Softly, silently, she reaches for his phone and starts searching through it. She realizes that Andy has been talking about Oliver with one of his friends. Suddenly, Andy wakes up and snatches the phone from Laura's hand. Laura says nothing and, with a cold look, leaves the room. Laura is constantly waiting for rain. A heavy rain that will fill her backyard pool with water. At night, in the darkness, she obsessively watches old VHS tapes. Tapes that teach how to perform spirit summoning rituals. The next morning, Andy wakes up embarrassed. His pants are wet. He feels sad and ashamed. But there's no time to think, because they have to go to their father's funeral. When the ceremony ends, Laura quietly approaches the coffin. Carefully, she cuts a lock of Andy's father's hair and puts it in her bag. Then she tells Andy, "You have to kiss your father's forehead and lips. It's a tradition." Andy reluctantly kisses only his father's forehead. But Laura goes ahead and kisses the corpse's lips herself. On the way back, Laura tells the kids, "I know how you feel, but tonight, let's wash away the sorrow. Let's have fun and get drunk." That night, everyone dances and drinks until late. Laura insists on offering wine to Piper so she can have her first experience. Andy, who is against it, finally says worriedly, "Just once, that's it." When they get really drunk, Laura starts a conversation with Andy. It's like the whole party was just a setup to open Andy's heart. Andy says, "My father hated me. I was always trying to get his attention so he would love me. But he only loved Piper. When he wanted to hit me, he would wait until Piper was asleep and turn on the shower, so she wouldn't hear the sounds of him hitting me. He beat me so much that I would pass out. But he never laid a hand on Piper." Since Andy moved into Laura's house, his pants have been wet at night. But now a horrifying truth is revealed. Laura urinates into a container at night, and secretly pours it onto Andy's pants. The next morning, Laura looks at Andy's wet pants and says in front of Piper, "I think your brother isn't mentally well." It seems like she's trying to make Andy look unstable and aggressive. That same day, Laura takes Piper out alone under the pretense of going shopping. Before leaving, she locks Oliver's room from the outside. Oliver is still hungry, and Andy is the only one left at home. Laura warns him, "Make sure Oliver doesn't come out of his room." After they leave, Andy goes to the yard to wash his face under the faucet, when suddenly he sees Oliver looking at him through the window of his room. Andy quickly puts on his clothes and goes to unlock Oliver's door, trying to start a conversation with him. He brings some fruit and says, "Since you don't talk, write something for me." Oliver writes the word bird and eats the fruit with the same knife Andy gave him. He stabs the knife deep into his palm, opening a cut in his mouth. This scene shocks Andy deeply. He tries to take the knife away from Oliver and rushes to take him to the hospital. But as soon as Andy crosses the circle drawn around the house, Oliver's condition worsens and he starts screaming. At that moment, Laura and Piper return from shopping. Laura asks, "Why did you take Oliver out of his room?" She takes Oliver back to her room and watches the spirit summoning video again. She tries to calm Oliver by any means. Then she gives Oliver some of Andy's father's hair to eat. Andy goes to take a shower, but suddenly in his hallucinations, his father appears and says, "Don't let Piper die in the rain." When Andy sees his father's bloodshot eyes, he gets scared and suddenly hits his head, causing a concussion. They take him to the hospital where he is closely monitored. When he wakes up, he asks Laura to keep Piper away from the rain, and Laura promises him she will. But when Laura returns home, She first takes Piper out into the rain and says, "Kitty loved the rain." Then she dresses Piper in Kitty's clothes and says, "I want you to call me Mom." The next day, Andy is discharged from the hospital and misses Piper deeply. That night, while Piper is asleep, Laura sprays Andy's body spray on herself, then elbows Piper hard in the face and escapes. In the morning, Laura blames Andy in front of Piper, saying, "You hurt Piper. Your father always hit you but loved Piper. You also tore Oliver's mouth. You have mental problems." At that moment, Oliver appears behind the glass, and Andy takes a picture of him. Laura forcefully takes Andy's phone and kicks him out. But just when Andy and Piper are about to run away together, Laura convinces Piper that Andy is not trustworthy. These words make Piper change her mind and leave Andy alone. Desperate, Andy goes straight to Wendy, the woman who had originally entrusted their care to Laura. When Andy arrives, he sees a photo of Oliver on the wall marked "Missing." Andy tells Wendy the whole truth about the dark secret behind Laura's seemingly kind exterior. But Wendy doesn't believe him. To her, it's impossible that Laura, who was the center's best counselor for years, could harm a child. At that moment, Oliver, who had been locked in his room for a long time, goes insane from hunger. He devours everything in the fridge and suddenly attacks Laura, injuring her. Laura rushes to her room, locks the door, and draws a circle on the window with her own blood. Seeing this mysterious sign, Oliver calms down. Now, Laura takes Oliver to an old small room in the yard, the same place where she had hidden the frozen body of her daughter, Kitty. Meanwhile, Andy and Wendy rush toward Laura's house. Andy sends a message to Piper's phone. "I love you so much." But Laura notices they are coming and quickly tidies up the house, making everything look normal. When they arrive, Wendy doesn't let Andy enter the house and goes inside alone. There, Laura tries to play the victim and blame everything on Andy. As Wendy is leaving the house, she suddenly notices blood dripping from Laura's hand. At that moment, Andy enters the yard and goes into the old small room. There, he faces a horrifying scene. Oliver is eating pieces of Kitty's corpse. Andy shouts, "Wendy, come here." Everything is revealed. Laura exposes her terrible secret, saying, "I just want my daughter to live again. That's why Piper has to die like Kitty, so Kitty's spirit can enter her body." Wendy barely escapes, and on her way she sees Oliver again. But when Wendy and Andy try to run away, Laura hits them violently with her car. Andy, still half-conscious on the ground, is strangled by Laura's hands. She had to hurry to find Piper. By chance, Piper enters Oliver's room and touches his bald head. She asks Laura, "Who is this?" Laura replies, "This is Oliver." Piper asks, "What color is Oliver's hair?" Laura says, "Oliver has curly red hair." That's when Piper realizes Laura is lying. She runs away from Laura, enters another room, and smells Andy's scent. She understands her brother is dead. Laura enters the room and says, "Your brother had an accident. I know an angel who put him inside Oliver's body. I want to drown you so Kitty's spirit can enter your body through Oliver." Piper throws something at Laura's face and runs away but falls. Laura catches her and takes her to the pool, where Oliver is also present. Laura starts drowning Piper, but suddenly Piper screams, "Mom! Mom!" Laura is happy, thinking the spirit transfer worked, and pulls Piper out of the water. Piper then escapes and stops a passing car. The police search everywhere and encounter many corpses. They find Oliver and take him with them. At the end of the film, Laura is seen next to her daughter's dried-up corpse in the pool. Bring Her Back is about the thin line between love and madness, when grief blinds a person. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so we can explore the best movie summaries together. Thanks for sticking with me this far. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon.